This deck won the 2025 Atlanta Regional. Henry Chao has clearly locked himself in as one of the great Pokemon TCG players, with a love of Gardevoir, continuing to place very well with Gardevoir at all the different regionals they've gone to. This is just the newest post-rotation deck that has been brought to Atlanta, and I actually got to be there sitting in the crowd watching as this final game went through. Now, I know it's pretty, like, maybe just from surface level, your assumptions may be Gardevoir is back, you know, it's here, it's utilizing Lillie's Clefairy, can help take down Dragapult, which is arguably the best deck in the format right now. But something you need to know before you just jump in on this deck is this is something, Gardevoir is not the easiest deck to pilot. There's a lot of different lines, a lot of different ways it can take prize cards, and a lot of different ways you can brick yourself and fail early on. I am not someone who has a ton of experience playing Gardevoir, but I think it's a really interesting deck, and I think right now with how prevalent Dragapult is in this format, it's a good deck to know, both for if you want to play something that can help potentially beat Dragapult, but it's also something you need to know as a Dragapult player. This is what you're going to see popping up at your challenges, your cups, or even your locals while people are trying their best to take down Dragapult. So let's do a quick rundown of the 60 cards that Henry piloted at Atlanta Regional. Of course, starting off with your 3 Ralts. These are here, of course, to get to our Gardevoir. With rotation, the Kirlia that was able to discard an energy and draw a card has rotated away. So instead, this Kirlia is purely here just to help get us to our Gardevoir. Doesn't really add too much, whereas Gardevoir is the main engine of this deck with its ability Psychic Embrace. As often as you like during your turn, take a Psychic Energy card from your discard pile and attach it to one of your Psychic Pokemon. If you do this though, that Pokemon will take 20 damage, which goes in perfect connection with Munkidori. Once during your turn, if your Munkidori has Darkness Energy attached to it, you can move 3 damage counters from one of your Pokemon to your opponent's side of the field, helping to build up to some nice knockouts, as well as just keep damage low on your side. Now, the draw engine for this deck, as well as the discard engine with the loss of Kirlia, is In's Zorua to evolve into In's Zoroark. There is just a 1-2 line in here. Personally, when testing this, I, being someone who's not as strong in this, would probably feel stronger having a 2-2 line, just to have it. But again, we're looking at Henry's deck, which is the other thing to keep in mind when using these players who are winning a lot, doing a lot well. They have built their 60 perfect for their playstyle, which might not fit your playstyle or my playstyle, which is to, like, I would be afraid of only having 1-0 in case it got prized. But hey, that's why I placed in the 1000th and Henry placed in first. Next up, we have Drifloon, just a 1-of with the Balloon Burst attack. This attack does 30 damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. Attach the partner this with a Bravery Charm. You can stack up a ton of damage onto it with Gardevoir's ability to allow for some big knockouts. We also have Scream Tail with a very similar attack, with Roaring Scream doing 20 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon for each damage counter on the Pokemon. The difference here, though, is Roaring Scream targets one of your opponent's Pokemon. Not necessarily they're active, you can attack their active, but you can also use this to snipe Pokemon on the bench to get some knockouts that'll benefit you. Potentially they've left like a Budew inactive, you can instead snipe that Dracloak that's just chilling on the bench. Something to note though, benched Pokemon do not take weakness or resistance damage. Next up we have Lillie's Clefairy. This is pretty much a tech card that is here just to power up your other attackers. While Lillie's Clefairy, of course, can be used as attacker with its Full Moon Rondo to do some big hits, Lillie's Clefairy being on your bench causes all Dragon Pokemon to be weak to Psychic types, meaning it allows Gardevoir, Drifloon, Screamtail to all attack for weakness, which is pretty nice, as well as Mew to attack for weakness. You can move some energy there, and then in the matchup against Dragapult, you can use Mew to genome hacking, take away their Dragapult's main attack, do 400 damage to Dragapult, knocking them out, and then put 60 damage counters over on their side of the bench. Pair that with the Munkidori, and you can easily take some big prize turns. Then we have our support Pokemon Fezandipiti. If your Pokemon got knocked out in your opponent's last turn, draw 3 cards for some nice recovery. And of course the single Budew with the Itchy Pollen, just as we saw Henry do in the first game of the finals of Atlanta. Just sit there and keep Budewing while you get your bench set up, and your Dragapult player just has to sit there trying everything to run down the time. Next up we have our support cards. We have 4 Ionos to disrupt our opponent's hand, as well as get some cards into our hand. Professor's Research to get cards into the discard, hopefully some energies, while also resetting our hand. Morty's Conviction, discard a card from your hand, and then draw a card for each of your opponent's benched Pokemon, again, to get energy in the discard. Professor's Turo to reset our bench, pick up stuff to get out of the way, maybe pick up a Fezandipiti to not leave a 2-prize liability on the bench that's easy to be knocked out. We have Jacq to get ourselves some Evo Pokemon, maybe in Zoroark or Gardevoir. 3 Buddy Poffins to get down those early Ralts in Zorua. Maybe even grab Drifloon if we need it. 2 Nest Balls and 2 Ultra Balls to get some different Pokemon. 2 Earthen Vessels to potentially discard energy as well as find energy. Some rare candies to evolve ourselves up to Gardevoir. 2 counter catchers, since we assume with a slower deck like this, like with any slow deck, Dragapult included, you're typically going to be playing from behind. As you slowly set up, you let your opponent take a single prize card, and then you get to counter catcher and just go crazy. 2 Night Stretchers for recovery, a Super Rod for recovery, the Secret Box to discard 3 cards, and then pick up some supporters that'll be useful, potentially the Bravery Charms that could be useful, the Rescue Board, lots of great stuff the Secret Box can do. There's a big discussion amongst Gardevoir players right now, what's better, the Secret Box or the Brilliant Blender. The Brilliant Blender, you get to discard 5 cards from your deck. You could use that to get 5 energy in your discard. The Secret Box only puts 3 in your discard, and you're not guaranteed those will be energy because you have to discard from your hand, but you can then use this to get some cards that can help prolong your game and set up your next turns. We have the 2 Bravery Charms, which add 50 HP to basic Pokemon, again for those Drifloons to get some extra health, or maybe you want to throw it onto your Lillie's Clefairy to keep it safe from being sniped by a Dragapult. We have the Rescue Board. We have 2 Artisans, 7 Psychic Energy, and 2 Dark Energy. So that's the 60 cards. It's definitely a very well fine-tuned deck, and let's go see how it plays. All right, our first game here. Let's see what we got. Again, would love to match into a Dragapult. I think we'd rather go second here. First is okay for us to start setting up some Evos. But if we go second, we could potentially get Budew down and start item locking them early. Before we potentially get item locked. We'll see. Either or really works for me in my mind. My opponent chooses to go first. Gives me that second start. And then we just gotta hope we get something good. Ooh, Zorua, not a good starting hand. Not a good starting hand. It's not bad to have Zorua and Zoroark in hand, but we don't have any of the other friends we need. Which is not what I love to see. Not what I love to see, but we have a lot of ways to get to those friends. We have Morty's Conviction here, so we can discard some energy and do some drawing. So I just hope they put down a lot of stuff. That is what would make me most happy, if they just bench a ton of Pokemon. Percy. Potentially Terrabox? But I don't know why they would bench the Cornerstone there, other than just to prep for a Noctowl next turn, when you could still Fan Rotom. I would have just held it in hand until I Fan Rotom to see if Ditto was there. No, okay, they have the 80 HP Hoot Hoot, which I feel like appears more often in Terrapagos, but this doesn't feel like Terrapagos either. Fezandipiti, man. Alright, let's Morty's Conviction and Energy away. Some pretty rough draws. We do get the Nest Ball, so we can at least put down a Ralts, but... Yikes, do I not feel good about this? Yikes, do I not feel good about this? Because we are going to lose our Zorua if they get an attack off next turn. We'll attach the energy so that way if they kill us, it gets into our discard. Or also, you know, if they don't kill us, we can use it to retreat, which we'll be doing anyways. Not a great opening round, not a great opening hand for us. Not much we could have done differently there, though. I think we played that the best we needed to. Are they going to be attacking me with Cornerstone? Or are they attacking me with Munkidori? Are they attacking me with a Fan Rotom? Not the Fan Rotom. Not the Fan Rotom. Anything but the Fan Rotom. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. So they're going to grab a Stadium card here. Most likely, it's probably going to be Area 0. I don't see any other Stadium that would really benefit from them. I mean, Jamming Tower would be great here, but typically decks that are running like the Owls and stuff like this, they use the Area 0 so that we can get a larger bench space and have more Pokemon out. Okay, Bouffalant comes out. It is Tank Terrapagos. It is Tank Terrapagos. Which is why... Why something? What was I going to say there? It is why it's the 80 HP Owl. The 80 HP Noctowl is Hoot Hoot is typically seen in Tank Terrapagos, but I feel like it's probably useful in a lot of others as well. If we top... Oh, we actually don't need to top deck it because we have Jacq in hand. So I can Jacq for Gardy. And who else do I want here? I mean, nothing. I mean, we'll Fezandipiti. I'll grab it just to get it out of my deck. Thin the deck, you know. We'll play down Fezandipiti. Hopefully Fezandipiti will give us an attacker. Could also Ultra Ball for one, or potentially some energy to throw away. We do have 2 energy in the discard, though, which could power up Clefairy, but I don't feel great. I think I'm going to Night Stretcher for Zorua. Put them back on the bench, so we only play the 1. I have no energy to move, so I don't care about that. I think we just have to Ultra Ball here. I mean, we could accelerate the 2 energy to Gardy and attack with Gardy, but that doesn't feel good. That doesn't feel good at all. I mean, we could attack with the Clefairy, but even then, again, that doesn't feel good. And we definitely Ultra Ball here. Probably Kirlia. Maybe Professor Turo, because I would like to Iono next turn, because they're starting to get a large hand. We could go Screamtail. We accelerate the 2 energy to retreat into Screamtail. Accelerate the 2 energy back to Screamtail. That does 40, and they do 20 damage for each damage counter. So they have 40, that's 2, 4, 6, 8, that's 80 damage, and we knock out their other Hoot Hoots. I think that's the play here. I think that's the play here. It's unfortunate that I also couldn't get a... if I could have had just like one more like Pokemon search, it would have been fantastic to also get a Munkidori out and be able to push 30 damage. Like, that would have been so cool. The negative here, though, is we will lose the Screamtail because they can just fan Rotomus right back with it. And if that's the option they choose to do, then, you know, that's fine. Oh, wait, the Bouffalants. We have to keep the Bouffalants in mind, because they are a normal Pokemon. And this is not damage counters. So this actually only does 20 damage. Ah! Wow. That's tough. That is tough, and then they'll be able to accelerate 30 the damage away. Urgh! That's a toughie right there. And we couldn't put the on Cornerstone, because since Cornerstone is a Terra Pokemon, they can't be attacked by damage. If it would have been damage counters, the Bouffalant would have been able to stop it. That's unfortunate. Oh, not much we can do about that. Not much we can do about that. Honestly, Clefairy might have been the better play, but I didn't want to leave a 2-prizer up front that they could easily knock back with Terapagos on a full bench. Because at least here, they only take 1 prize card. At least that's the benefit. They only take 1 prize card. Because even with Gust, they could take out Fezandipiti, which would be unfortunate, but I mean, we had to put it down because we needed the draw power. Nest Ball and Bravery Charm. Not much we can do for other weakness there. Or to, like, benefit ourselves against Terapagos. Not much we can do there. They are weak to fighting, but we have no fighting types in here. I think our... Oh, they Bravery Charm the Fan Rotom. That's interesting. Which, I mean, I guess they also don't want to put a 2-prizer inactive. Oh, and they also don't have... I was expecting, like, a Crispin or something, or... Glass Trumpet to accelerate energy for the Terapagos. But, I mean, I guess it wouldn't make sense. Why would you leave a 2-prizer inactive when your 1-prizer can do it? The double Bouffalant is difficult. I'm gonna move the 20 damage back probably to Fezandipiti, maybe to Gardevoir to start chipping down its damage. Gardevoir would probably make the most amount of sense. Because the Zoroark, I'm gonna get an evolve. I'm gonna evo it immediately. I don't know who I actually want inactive. I don't like Gardy inactive, but it's really the only thing that makes sense for an easy runaway ability. Because I think we're gonna Iono. We're gonna evolve. We're gonna Nest Ball. I think for Munkidori, I think Munkidori makes the most sense here. That way we can start moving some of this energy or damage around. I don't think Clefairy does a lot for us. I mean, it's gonna 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Like, it does a lot of damage, but it's also really weak to being knocked out. And I don't know that I want to do that. We might come back to it later, but for right now, we're gonna just Iono it away. Secret Box would be good here. We don't need the Zoroark, so we'll grab 2 energy. We'll lose the Ultra Ball, which is fine here, and both energy, because we'll get rid of their Stadium. Grab the Bravery Charm. Probably another Iono for Disruption next turn. And then maybe get Screamtail back in action? Because with the Bravery Charm, With the Bravery Charm, we put Screamtail up to 140. We do 120 times 2, that's 240. I feel like that's the play. I feel like that's the play. We also still have the Fez draw that we can do here. They're going to get rid of their Noctowls, so it's not too much of a concern, but it also bench locks them, which is more than anything what I want to do here. I'm going to flip the script. Throw that away. Grab the last energy out of our deck. Then we will... I might honestly actually rescue board the Gardevoir, so that way they don't take more damage. Then because I just don't want to leave a lot of damage on them. Because I can push away 3 of it, but that would be leaving a lot of damage on them. I don't really want to do that, you know? I'll write that there. I traded yet? I have traded. No, I haven't traded. I haven't! Buddy Poffin. I feel like I should put another Ralts down just in case they do something crazy and knock out my Gardy. I don't think they can, though. Not in one hit. I don't think they can. Not in one hit. I'm just gonna fail it. Okay, so we gotta make sure that when we snipe this, we snipe it correctly, because if not, they just Munkidori the 30 damage over and kill Screamtail and kind of screw my day. And we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. Alright, so now they're hitting for 120 times 2 for 240. They're hitting for 240 minus 30 or minus 60. So they're hitting for 180. Well, then we can add 30 to it and we can hit for 210. Man, if I could just get another monkey down. But what if I move the 30 damage away? Do I have another energy to... I don't have another energy to cycle in. I was like, if I had another energy to cycle in to put more damage onto them, I was like, could it do an awkward amount if I pull off 30 and added 20? But I would need to get them more. I don't have that. That's that. We're trying to do too much math. We're trying to do too much math. So my thought instead is counter catcher this guy and take 2 prizes. Because this guy won't take the weakness of it. I think that's what we do instead. Is we counter catcher this guy. I just wanted to heal damage off. I didn't want to leave damage over there for their Munkidori to pass right back to us. And then let's actually go ahead and Artisan and put down Drifloon, because I feel like Drifloon will be our attacker next turn onto the Terapagos potentially. So the reason I had to counter catcher this guy is because since it's a Terra Pokemon, like I said earlier, you can't put damage onto a Terra Pokemon that's on the bench, because they are protected on the bench, so we gotta pull them back. They do get an easy return knock here with Assault Landing, but I don't care. That is totally fine with me. Completely fine with me. They grab a Hoot down. They Glass Trumpet. They could Boss's Order. They could Gust here for Fezandipiti. They go for the Iono though, which is fine. I would have loved to keep my counter catcher, but I feel like whatever they put in active. I mean, they might not. They could just... I think the smartest thing they do is leave Fan Rotom inactive. Yeah, and they just Assault Landing. I think that's the smartest thing they can do here. But we will Artisan to shuffle the deck first before I do anything else. We will Artisan first before we do anything else. So I mean, we could grab a monkey. Another monkey might be the play. No, is my other energy prized? Oh, my other energy's prized, never mind. My other darkness energy is not accessible. Because we only have the one counter catcher, and I want it. I want it! I don't think we need Mew in this matchup. Clefairy could go hard in this matchup, but I don't think we need it all that badly, so we're going to Professor's Research. Get the counter catcher back. Beautiful. We're not going to flip the script because I don't need anything. Man, I just really need to make sure I do this math correctly. So it's 30 for each damage counter on this Pokemon. Ah, we didn't get the... Oh, I didn't check, because the other Bravery Charm might not even be in there. We do have to flip the script. I need a Bravery Charm. Because what is 6 times 30? 6 times 30 is only 180. No! Is it even in there? It's not even in there. It's prized. It's prized. So, I mean, we could just take out one of their boofs. I think that might actually be the better play, is just take out one of their boofs. I think that's what we gotta do instead. I think that's just what we gotta do instead. Yeah. 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 And I don't want to accelerate any damage anywhere because I don't want to give them damage to push back. This is going to be a tough one for us. Oh, my phone fell. It's going to be a tough one for us. We have Ionos in hand though, so I don't care about like how thin my deck is. Because we can reset that pretty easily. What I'm concerned with is the attacks. The Bravery Charm is definitely their play. They should have benched the other one though. I don't know why they benched the second one there. Because if you're gonna Bravery Charm to protect it, why would you bench another one? They only need 3 prizes, so if they take 1 prize here, which they easily will with Fan Rotom, I have no other gusting. So I think Gardy has to be our attacker here. And we just take out the Fan Rotom, and then they have to gust for the win. I would like Iono, but I think we have to Professor Turo and pick up Fezandipiti instead. Which isn't that scary. We still leave, 4 cards in the deck, and we aren't drawing anything. I don't think that's too big of a deal. Unless they gust this turn, then we're just screwed no matter what. But they've already Professor's Researched, so it would have to be a Prime Catcher. Prime Catcher is the only way they get it. Which they haven't used yet. Because it's either Prime Catcher or Scoop Up Cyclone. And I see more often than not they're wearing that. But I think we go up with Gardy. We move the 30 damage over just to leave them at full health. We Professor Turo Fezandipiti. I mean, it's still gonna be a tough win for us. It's gonna be a very tough win for us. So we pick up Fezandipiti to get rid of the easy 2 prize knock. And we Psychic Embrace the 3 energy we need. And then we're gonna move 30 damage of it away. We should not be in range. Alright. If I had another Darkness Energy, but it's one of those prizes. Move that there, even though it doesn't account for anything, it's just to get the damage off of me here. Nothing I need to hit here, and then we'll hit the 190. I think my math is mathing. My math is mathing. There's my other Darkness Energy that I need. I don't think it helps me, though. I don't think the Darkness Energy helps me at all, though. trying to... I mean, if I get another... No, both my... Super Rod. Super Rod actually... Super Rod gets me there. What did they grab off of the owl? Night Stretcher. Ah, they grabbed the Boofalot! No! No! Fezandipiti. But I have no way to gust, that's the thing. But I don't need to gust. With... Can I ever hit 210 on Screamtail? If we get their health back up to 140, it would be 120. What was that math again? 120 times 2, that's 240. Actually, Night Stretcher or Super Rod Bravery Charm wins us the game. Oh, and a way to get said Pokemon into active. But I also, man, I don't know what my last 2 prizes are. They're hitting 240 here, but it's not enough, because that puts me at 300. But they take it next turn. Okay, we Fezandipiti, flip the script, and then we Iono. Yeah. We Munkidori, put that down. That's 60 damage that we're pushing across the field. Oh, I didn't mean to... We can't flip the script. Never mind, I'm stupid. We can't flip the script, I'm stupid. They didn't take a knockout or else we would have lost. Okay. We put Artisan out there. Which depowers them, but it doesn't... Ah, you know what? I shouldn't have Artisan. Because they can get rid of their Fezandipiti. They don't get rid of their Fezandipiti. Okay, well, that was stupid of them. What was my last card? No, it's not a Bravery Charm! It's not a Bravery Charm. Can we still do enough? I don't know that we can do enough. Because we can only do 80. 80 times 2 is 160 plus 60. Never mind, we can do enough. Never mind, chat. We can do enough. Put Screamtail. Just Screamtail. Then we... Making sure I'm doing my sequencing right. We Iono, so that we get the Screamtail back in our hands. Put the Screamtail down. We retreat into Screamtail. Oh no, it doesn't put the energy there. Oh, which is fine. It's fine. It's fine. Because the rescue board, if you have less than 30 health, it's fine because it's 2-4. Oh wait, no, that might have screwed up everything. Oh, that screwed up everything. Oh, chat. That screwed up everything. I needed the additional 20. No, the additional 20 didn't get me there anyways. Never mind! The additional 20 didn't get me there anyways. But they still need to gust here, or else I can just Adrenabrain for the knockout. They still need gust here, I can just Adrenabrain for the knockout. Because I mean, I'm not going to give you something you can easily knock out, so you are going to have to gust here. Counter Catcher. Oh, no, Prime Catcher! No! The stupid Prime Catcher! They were saving it! They were saving it! Yeah, what was my math was off by 40. I needed the Bravery Charm, didn't I? Because that left him at 180. The additional 20 would have put them at 200. So my math was still off. I needed the Bravery Charm. Bravery Charm would have won me that game. Ah. Definitely some better plays we could do. That's what I was talking about in the opening thing. You know, this deck is one that is difficult to pilot. There's a lot of different ways you can get there. I think definitely probably would have been better earlier on to... Man, I don't even know. Those Bouffalints really hurt the math. They really, really, really hurt the math. So definitely a tough matchup there when you're dealing with the minus 60 every time. Let's jump in another one. Game 2. Let's see what we got for this final matchup. Opponent is going to call the coin flip here. See if the Lestonks are rising or falling for this. They chose Tails, and they get fails. They get the fails. So we will go second. Which maybe they're happy about going first. You know, there are a lot of decks out here right now that do enjoy going first. It's the Mono Nice setups. Not great. They immediately get to know what I'm playing. They immediately see my ace spec. Though, one of the worst mulligans to get when you give your opponent that much info from the get-go. But our second hand here is pretty nice. So nice. I would like this opening hand twice. Alright, what do they got for me? Ooh, is this Dragapult? Are we seeing the worst matchup for them and the best matchup for us? What? But it's... Oh, wait, this is Pult Zard. Okay. Okay. I don't want to give them the Artisan. I'm going to be really real with you. I don't want to give them the Artisan. So what do we want to even Nest Ball for here? Maybe Zorua? What do I have in hand? I don't have anything in hand. Lillie's Clefairy is there. I don't want to put it down yet until I'm getting ready to make an attack. One of our Zoroarks is prized. One of our Gardys is prized. Got our rare candies. Secret box is there. One of our energies is prized. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to give them the Artisan, so I'm not going to. Itchy Pollen, because they can Artisan for potentially a Budew of their own, another Charmander, a Pidgey. I don't know what their other support mons they may be playing are, but I don't want to give them easy access to it, even though it would be very helpful to me to have some draw power going. I don't want to give it to them. No attack they can get off this turn from their Dragapult or their Charizard, since they can't use rare candies. But, ooh, they're going for a Team Evo. I was going to say they can, you know, if they really want to give a Crispin to it, they could set up that Bite. Oh, this is beautiful. What a beautiful hand to be sent into. Part of me wants to Ultra Ball for... Oh, no, we don't Ultra Ball, we just Jacq for Zoroark and for Gardy. I didn't realize... I was looking at the Ultra Ball and the rare candy. I'm like, this is perfect, but who do I want? Both! I get both of them with the power of Jacq. Beautiful. You'll love to see it. We'll take Gardy and I'll take in Zoroark. We'll evolve one. And then we'll trade. Man, I would love to get 2 energy off this trade. Okay, Secret Box isn't horrendous. And Secret Box isn't horrendous, is it? I could go Ultra Ball, Iono Monkey to the trash. Do I want to be aggressive and attack now? Kind of, right? Kind of, right? Because next turn they can start swinging. Next turn they can start swinging. Because they can hit their Charizard. So maybe we snipe their Charizard. Maybe we snipe their Charizard. I think that could be the play here. We already have Bravery Charm in hand. The other one's in there like our last game. Budew Poffin to get some other stuff down. Actually, Earthen Vessel. Have I traded yet? I have already traded. Here's the other thing, though. I only have 1 energy in here, so I actually can't do anything too exciting with this. I actually should have kept the Ultra Ball. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. That's the thing with this deck. You have to be thinking ahead on stuff like that, and I clearly was not thinking ahead on that. So I think I'm just going to keep these things in my hand for now. I don't think I have any real big benefit from doing anything with them. Because, I mean, if they Iono my hand, we just lose all of these pieces, so we're just going to finish it on. Next turn, though, we have some excitement. We have some excitement that we can do next turn. We can Earthen Vessel Artisan, because, again, I don't want to give them the draw for it. But, man, they can get off a solid turn here. Especially if they have Gust. They could really put down some big damage onto, like, Gardy or Zoroark. But we get to return pretty quickly. We get to return an attack pretty fast. Morty's Conviction is only beneficial if they have things down. Now, they're going to grab the Charizard. Charizard does allow them to accelerate Fire Energy, but they already have Fire Energy onto their active Dracloak, so I assume they probably already have some Psychic Energy in hand. There's no way for them to get the Psychic, or they just put the Fire... I was like, maybe they'll put the Fire Energy on the other one there? Do they just go for the Jet Headbutt here? They do. They do just go for the Jet Headbutt. Who is my attacker here now? Because, like, Lillie's Clefairy obviously would go hard. Lillie's Clefairy would go hard. But that's only 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I bench you. 12 for Lillie's Clefairy. 14 for something off the Artisan. And then 14 times 2 is only 240. So that is unfortunately not enough to get me there. But it could we could potentially work it. We're not gonna trade, we're gonna Professor's Research first. My hope was I would draw into more energy. So that way we can instead trade that energy away. We still don't currently have a way to get... Never mind, there it is. I was like, we don't have a way to get the Lillie's Clefairy, but ask and you shall receive it. Alright, we could also just attack with Gardevoir. We don't even need to attack with Lillie's Clefairy, because it just makes Gardevoir super effective. Or it also just makes Screamtail super effective. We could also just attack with a single Prizer. We could just attack with a single Prizer. No matter what, we at least have to put 2 there to get us out of active. What do I get off the Flip the Script? Can I get Darkness Energy? No. Would love some Darkness Energy, though. To get a Munkidori and, like, move some of this energy around, too. I don't think I want to leave Gardy out there. I mean, we could Drifloon and do 2, 4, 6, 3 energy. 6 times 30 times 2 is 360. That's 360. I think we go into Drifloon. And we leave the Screamtail for later. And we just leave them a single Prizer out and active, and they have to Gust around it if they want to do anything about it. They have to Gust around it if they want to do anything about it. Oh, man, 360 for a knockout. That's crazy. Off of Drifloon because of that Lillie's Clefairy for the weakness. That's why my initial thought was attacking with Clefairy, because I'm like, because I didn't think I could get up enough damage off Screamtail to matter. And then I was like, wait a second. Drifloon can. Now what would suck here is if they had a way, you know, push us around, they gust us around, and then they can just put 1 damage counter there off of, like, Dragapult, but I don't think that's anything we have to worry about here. I've taken 2 prizes, so I'm doing 60 plus the 180. They're going to counter catch your Gardy, and they're going to kill Gardy, because Charizard also hits for weakness. Man, Dragapult is tough. Dragapult is tough because the Charizard does allow the weakness. Maybe it actually would have been better there to just set up damage or set up energy on Screamtail and attack with Screamtail instead. That might have been better in the grand scheme of things. In the grand scheme of things, that might have been better. I think no matter what, I am going to Professor Turo and pick up Fezandipiti. I don't think there's a world where I want to leave Fezandipiti on my bench. So I think we promote Fezandipiti and then Professor Turo then when I decide what my course of action is going to be. Right? Right? That makes the most sense to me. Because we're going to pick it up no matter what. Put Ralts down. Need to start working towards another one. Let's flip the script. How about Iono? Iono them down to 3 would be nice, but again, we're going to Professor Turo because I don't want to leave this on the bench. And then let's trade Professor Turo. And there's that darkness energy I wanted last turn. I think I just hit with Drifloon just to get damage onto it. I think that's the play here, is we just hit with Drifloon to just get damage onto it. So we hit for 180 right now. We played out a second Ralts so that way they can't take out both of them. And then we just hit for 180. Yeah. I was like, I could put down Monkey, but Monkey, I don't want to move damage off Drifloon because I need that damage on Drifloon. Or Drifloon. Drifloon is the Evo. I think this is still... We're okay right now. Picking up Clefairy could have also been an apt, because we still have a 2-prize liability there. The reason I wanted to pick up Fezandipiti is because when they get a knockout, Fezandipiti benefits me, and I need a benefit to me. Whereas Clefairy, losing Clefairy will suck, but I would rather keep Fezandipiti in my hand, since it gives me hand recovery. Now they could Iono me, and I would lose the Fezandipiti, which would be rough, but I think it's fine. But I mean, they're in such a good winning position here that I truly don't think it matters what we do at this point. Like next turn we need Rare Candy and Gardy. Was my other Gardy prized? I think my other Gardy was prized. It was either in this one or the last match the other Gardy was prized. So we'll need Rare Candy, Night Stretcher. Which isn't asking for a ton. It's just 2 cards. So I think when they kill, we promote, or they boss the Clefairy and they take the 2 prizes. Ah, that's not what I was... That's in fact the opposite of what I was hoping was going to happen. Because now they just win with literally anything. That was the opposite of what I was hoping was going to happen there. I think we actually have to attack with... Oh no, our second Gardy wasn't prized. That must have been the last game. I think we're going to have to Iono here at some point, but I would love to get a Rare Candy first. I would. Love to get a Rare Candy first. Okay, we're not. Or no Rare Candy. No Rare Candy is also an option, I guess. Well, Kirlia won. I mean, we could Professor's Research, but that doesn't feel good, so we'll just Iono. Iono them to 1 benefits me. Yeah, I was hoping to pull into Stretcher Candy. Stretcher Candy is what I was hoping to find. And they just have it here. Like, they have win on board. Because they just promote Dracloak and they just hit it. That's just win on board. Nothing else we can do there. Man, like I said, this is a tough deck to pilot, especially if you don't know the ins and outs of Gardy all that well. It can definitely be one. Man, if they would have just not had the Gust last time, I mean, even then, they still would have just been looking for a 2-prizer that turn. They had the boss, but the Iono would have reset it. They definitely, that was the correct call for them. It's just, it's a tough call for us, because we're like, I mean, we still would have been hurting because I didn't pull into what I needed anyways. So we would have been in a worse position because I wouldn't have been able to take the knockout. So it would have just been an easy game for them to take anyways. That's unfortunate. It was a good game, though. That was solid. Shows you that this, I think, is a good visual representation of why this deck is as good as it is. Because we all can see it's a solid deck. But also why this deck is as difficult to pilot as it is. Now, I think there's some easy changes you could make to this deck to make it more... I don't want to say consistent, because it is a consistent deck. I think that the thing to keep in mind when we're talking about a deck like this, and we're talking about a player like Henry Chao, who's been piloting this deck for so long, is this deck is fine-tuned for their playstyle. They know what they're looking for. They know their lines to get there. If you're interested in playing Gardevoir, if you're interested in having a deck that is, you know, meta-relevant and also is a big counter to one of the best decks in the format right now, you probably would want to start with Henry's and then kind of deconstruct it a little bit, or try a different one, just because if you're starting with this deck, it's gonna be a lot because it is so fine-tuned for their play style. They know how it works, they know what they're looking for. And this is definitely not something someone who's even new to the game, even me who's been playing for this last year. This is still a difficult deck to understand. Especially, like I said, like the one Budew, the one Zorua, if either of those are prized, you're kind of stuck. Also, this is a 60-card deck you have to keep in mind that was built to do well at a regional, which is all best of 3 format. If you're looking to take something to your local league or your cup or challenge, you're going to want to play something that is a little bit more consistent in the Budews and the Zorua, because if either of those are prized, those are 2 really big pieces that you need to move forward. Whereas in a best of 3 format, you can continue to play without it, and if it gets to a point where you know you can't bring it out, you can just scoop and go to the next game. In a best of 1 at a league or a cup, or at a cup or a challenge, you don't really have that that safety net. So those are other things to keep in mind. But still, this is a fantastic deck. One that honestly I wish I was better at piloting, because again, it is such a meta-relevant deck, and Gardy is such a really like fun, like with all the different lines, with being able to psychic embrace the energy. It's a fun deck to be able to pilot, a fun deck to be able to understand, but I definitely recommend for anyone who is a big Dragapult fan, or even not a Dragapult fan, but you're interested in going to these, I would definitely recommend still grabbing the 60 cards here, playing around with it, and get an understanding of Gardevoir, because you're gonna see a lot of it, especially as long as Dragapult is reigning over the top of all the decks here. People are going to be wanting to run Gardevoir to counter that, so you need to know how to counter it back with what you got. But I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you thought about the Atlanta Regionals overall. Was the fact that there were like 7 Dragapults in the top cut, was that surprising to you? Did you watch the end with the 7 flip over from the Professor's Research of Henry and like lose your mind of just hitting the 3 cards you need? Like that could have went either way. If Henry wouldn't have got one of those cards, the game winner would have went to Dragapult. So while Gardevoir isn't just an easy checkmark win against Dragapult, it does definitely have the advantage. But if there's another deck you want to see me do an overview for and check out and show, please let me know in the comments down below. But otherwise, I will see you in the next one.